now for Cavalier Between Games, featuring today's episode of The Life of the Umpire, followed by other Between Games entertainment. That's all leading up to Game 2 of today's Cavalier doubleheader.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff.
That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
The Life of the Umpire.
From an Ode to the Umpire by Cliff Eastham. An umpire's life is not that fun. Spending 4 hours in the dry hot sun, making calls that half dislike, telling rowdy managers to take a hike.
And now, today's episode of The Life of the Umpire.
Once again, we're at the Goat Coffee House on Water Street with Chippewa River League Director of Umpires, Teddy Joas. This is the second episode in the series, The Life of the Umpire, where we'll examine what it's like to be a baseball umpire in the CRBL or any other baseball league for that matter. Teddy, you kind of hinted at it in the last episode, but how long have you been umpiring?
Different levels, about 25 years.
So you've seen quite a few ball games.
Yeah.
Now,
And played in some too, so I
Right.
played high school and near college and a little bit in the CRBL. So
Now, sometimes calls are not easy to make. So what are the most difficult calls that you've had to make?
sure, I mean the obvious ones are the bang plays, whether it's on a base or even the pitching. We talked last time about hitting the black and catchers freezing and framing things, if I remember right. Those are very judgmental calls. The field ones, I sometimes, people want to talk about 2-man versus 3-man versus even 4-man crews. In 2-man crews, a lot of times you lose angles because you have a base umpire that's moving to get to or covering multiple bases potentially, depending on the situation. So, one of the tougher things can be the angles getting on those bang plays in the fields, or the snap tag at third, and then there's a throw behind the runner at second, and you got a bang, and so depending on situations, those calls can be extremely difficult.
Okay. Now, sometimes fans and managers, even players, don't agree with the call that you've made, and oftentimes it seems like they might be misunderstanding the rules. What are some of the most misunderstood rules, and can you explain how they work?
Sure. I think one of the most, questionable or misunderstood rules is the obstruction versus an interference. And a lot of people think those are kind of two of the same thing, but interference is when the offensive team makes a run-in with the defense, or the offensive team interferes with the defense making a play.
Okay.
Obstruction is when the defensive team obstructs or gets in the pathway of the offense. So an example of that would be if a base runner's rounding second and runs into the shortstop, because the shortstop's turning around watching the ball in the outfield or something, and the runner tumbles to the ground. And what you'd normally see, but fans usually don't, is the umpire extend his arm out with a fist, and that's the signal for like a delayed dead ball. The reason it's a delayed dead ball there is because the offense, because it was obstructed by the defense, has the right to take the outcome of the play, or the obstruction call and the runner gets the base. Now, the reason it's a delayed, like I said, in the outcome of the play, well, if the outfielder overshoots the cutoff and rolls down with the dugout and the first baseman picks it up and tries to throw one at third and it sails into left field, and that runner who was obstructed by the shortstop then scores, well, if the umpire killed the play, he would only get third base.
Right.
But because it's delayed and the snowball fight in the infield started, then that runner scored, the offense then can take the outcome of the play where the run would count. If the umpire killed it right away, you'd only gotten third. So I think fans, when they see that, some of that stuff like that, and even managers come screaming, and I usually that's if you have my games and that happens, you hear me all, I have it, I got it, and I just, and then when the play eventually calms down and is ball's stopped and the time's called, you can explain it. But yeah, that's usually the most anxious or most energetic type play that I get from fans and managers and sometimes players, other than obviously the bang plays in the borderline pitches.
One of them that I get asked quite frequently is if you could explain, and I know it's a fairly simple rule and I understand it, but a lot of fans don't, is the infield fly rule.
Oh, sure.
Because all of a sudden the batter's out and nothing happened. As far as the play is still in progress and the batter's out. Can you explain how that works?
Yeah, I mean, the rules stated it. I'm not probably going to say it 100% correctly, but it says the infielder has to be able to get under a ball.
Okay.
And that's kind of the Cliff Notes version of that. Now that doesn't. People are misinformed too because they think it has to be in the infield, which it doesn't.
No, the fielder has to have a reasonable opportunity to get under it and catch it.
Correct. And so, it can't be a line drive, can't be a bunt, but so that could be out in the short of the outfield, and in some of those tricky ones with umpires are those bloopers where the infield's kind of running back. And they don't get under it, but they're in the runners then are caught in a dilemma.
Rundown, yeah.
But as an umpire, that goes back to, well, they weren't able to get under it, so you didn't call it. But if that's usually where there's some gray area there, which someone's not going to be happy.
And it doesn't apply on all short fly balls. You have to have certain situations on the bases as well.
Correct. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's a good point. It's either got to be runners on first and second, or
bases loaded.
So there's really only two scenarios.
And less
for
than
that.
2 outs.
Correct. Yes, I should add that too. Yeah. So take for granted you understand baseball rules, and not everyone listening might. But there's got to be less than 2 outs, and first and second, or
isn't that rule simply to eliminate confusion for the runner?
Yeah, because otherwise you'd have the situation where, if there's runners on first and second and a little fly ball to shortstop, if the runners would hold, figuring he's going to catch it, if he dropped it, he could throw to second,
right,
throw to third, and you'd have a double play. And
right.
So that's the basis of that rule there.
Okay. Well, thank you, Teddy, for joining us today on Life of the Umpire, recorded here at the Goat Coffee House on Water Street. We have many more topics to talk about, and we'll get to those on future episodes of The Life of the Umpire. Our next episode will be between games during the next Cavalier doubleheader. I'm Rick Olson, inviting you to stay tuned for Game 2 of today's Cavalier doubleheader.
This has been today's episode of The Life of the Umpire.
From Ode to the Ump by Barbara Gorlick. Watch him there behind the plate, the guy referred to as Blue. Hey Blue, you must be blind. How could you call that ball strike 2? He takes the ribbing all in stride. Been doing this for many years. Loves the game, the fans, the kids. Lots of fun, and yes, sometimes tears. Too soon the season will be over and done. But next year the kids will come to play. The ump will smile and call batter up. He'll be having fun, just like he is today.
Stay tuned. Coming up in just a few minutes will be Game 2 of today's doubleheader on NLWN-TV.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
CWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
You've been tuned to Cavalier Between Games. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Game 2 of today's Cavalier doubleheader.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Eau Claire Cavalier baseball is on the air.
Fly ball out into center field. It's hit hard. It's hit long, and it's gone! A home run for Cole Hyman!
NLWN-TV proudly presents today's Eau Claire Cavalier games. Join us while we follow the Cavaliers as they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League.
Fly ball out into right field. This one's tagged, and it's out of here! Into the fan deck, a 2-run home run by Gabe O'Brien.
And now, out to the ballpark for Eau Claire Cavalier baseball.
And we're back here at Carson Park. We're getting ready for Game 2. And Dan, do you have your lineups done yet?
I got Jim Falls done.
Okay, start going through that.
So, batting first for the Jim Falls Sturgeons will be right fielder number 5, Jace Cota. Batting second will be center fielder number 22, Tristan Hobley. Batting third will be their extra hitter number 25, Bobby Surin. Batting fourth will be their pitcher number 15, AJ Schemenauer. Batting fifth will be their shortstop number 27, Mason Tester. Batting sixth will be their third baseman number 11, Jake Esslinger. Batting seventh will be their first baseman number 18, Colton Turner. Batting eighth will be their catcher number 10, Ben Westaby. Batting ninth will be their left fielder number 8, Jackson Google. Batting 10th will be their second baseman number 12, Curtis Stelzer, with AJ Schemenauer on the mound. For the Cavaliers, batting first will be their shortstop number 6, Caden Erickson. Batting second will be their center fielder, Xavier Benminster. Batting third will be their third baseman, number 23, Cade Mueller. Batting fourth will be their first baseman, number 19, Cole Timon. Batting fifth will be their catcher, number 35, Sam Knickerbocker. Batting sixth will be number 25, Cody Dayton. He'll be their he'll be playing second base. Batting seventh will be number 13, Connor O'Reilly. He'll be their designated hitter. Batting eighth will be number 22, Trenton Palmer. He'll be at third base. Batting ninth will be number 11, Brayton Thillman, and he'll be playing left field. Batting 10th will be number 44, Jerome Dalakowski. He'll be their extra hitter, with Jackson Vance on the mound for the Eau Claire Cavaliers. So, game 1 goes to Jim Falls Sturgeons, 7-5. And game 2 will be starting here just shortly. We got a few more minutes. The umpires are out here, but they are going through a few things with each team.
Let's send it to a break. We could take a break here, and we'll be ready for our first pitch of Game 2 right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Hi.
I'm your retirement fear. But don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options? Potential tax breaks?
Move.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
You got this.
Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan.
Hi. I'm your retirement fear. But don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options? Potential tax breaks?
Move.
This isn't scary.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
So we're back here at Carson Park, and we now have all the lineups ready to go, I think. But Dan, you were saying something on your journey to get lineups straightened out for us for the second game. What was going on down there?
I think there was a little confusion on both teams. Well, on the Cavaliers, because there was a number on their lineup card that was wrong at the beginning of the game. And it sounds like there was just some card error among the Jim Falls Sturgeons when they did the lineup card. That
Well, I think they were also dealing with a player that wasn't on the lineup card coming into play in the game. And I think Will Jacobson was not on the original lineup card, and I actually happen to have a photocopy of it.
So it was, a little discussion. That's why the game's taking a longer to get started here. But it looks like everybody's ready to go.
I'm looking here, and that's correct. Will Jacobson, who came in and got the win in game one, was not on the lineup card that we were handed at the beginning. So I don't know if the Cavaliers filed an official protest. I see Cavalier President Nicole Brannigan down talking with the umpires, and there's been a lot of scurrying back and forth. And so I don't know exactly what the status is. I know that Ryan Bemnister was not very happy with the umpiring in game one.
Yeah,
and
the zone just was kind of all over the place.
And the zone was wandering, and that line shot down the third baseline that Dick Smith called foul, and went right over the bag. And that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Anyway, for the Cavaliers defensively out in the field, is very similar to the last game. Cade Mueller's at third. Caden Erickson is at short. Cody Dayton is at second. Cole Tyman now moves over to first base. Sam Knickerbocker is behind the plate. Out in the outfield, it's Tillman, Bemnister, and Palmer going from left to right. Jackson Vance on the mound for the Cavaliers. And we're just about ready to get started here as Jace Cota will be stepping to the plate. By the way, Jackson Vance, as I look here, has a 0.00 earned run average. He's appeared in 3 games. He only has 3 innings pitched so far, so he's done some spot relief work. He's walked 1, struck out 2. He's faced 10 batters. And he has a whip of 0.67, and the first pitch is a called strike. And the pitch. Fly ball foul on the left side. Cota, in game 1, went 2 for 3. Infield hit, a more routine hit. That one just missed the outside corner. Ball and 2 strikes. And pitch, high and away. Counts even at 2-2. Cota will be followed by Tristan Hobley and Bobby Soren. There's a high pop-up. Erickson moving over from shortstop and makes the catch.
Yeah, good job by Caden Erickson to call off everybody. It's going to get a little tight over there.
And Caden Erickson has a lot of range at shortstop. It's not a position he played a lot, but he said he wanted to get better at it and learn it, and he has done that as this season has progressed. At the plate is Tristan Hobley, and Vance's first pitch was outside for a ball. Here's the pitch. Strike called on the inside corner. And that pitch is a ball, so it's now 2-1. Trevor Kolip behind the plate. Dick Smith now out on the bases. The 2-1 pitch. Chopper foul at the plate. Want to thank Cassie and Ann for making the food and beverage run between games. It's not always an easy thing to do. It's a pretty tight schedule getting everything in. We were frantically writing up until just about first pitch. Strike 3 called. Tristan Hobley did not like that call too much. That's going to bring up Bobby Soren, the extra hitter. He was the catcher in the last game. And he went 2 for 5. That pitch was inside.
Did it get him? It did.
I think, to be honest with you, I think Bobby Soren called that himself. But
it must have got the pants because it didn't hit the body.
No. That's going to bring up A.J. Schemenauer. He's going to be pitching this game for the Sturgeons. And the pitch. Strike called on the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 down, runner on first. And the 0-2 pitch. Chopper out in front of the mound, picked up by Vance, throw over to first in time. So the Sturgeons go down with no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We played a half inning, and it's the Sturgeons nothing. Cavaliers coming to bat on NLWN-TV.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Getting ready for the bottom of the first inning. Due up for the Cavaliers are Caden Erickson, Xavier Bemnister, and Cade Mueller. Taking a look at the Sturgeons defensively. Third base is Esslinger. Tester's at short. Stelter is now at second base. Turner is at first. He was the starting pitcher in game one. And Ben Westerby is behind the plate. Out in the outfield, it's Google, Hobley, and Coda going from left to right. A.J. Schemenauer on the mound for the Sturgeons. Dan, do you have any information on Schemenauer? Any
AJ
pitching records?
AJ Schemenauer. Innings pitched 12. Win-loss is 2-1. ERA 2.92 and a whip of 1.
Okay. And stepping to the plate, it's Caden Erickson. Fly ball out into left center field, moving over and making the catch is Hobley.
Yeah, last game the bats kind of got hot in the second half of that game, and see if Cavs bats can get hot earlier this time.
Erickson went 0 for 3 in game one. He also drew a walk and scored. Brings up Xavier Bemnister, who had an infield hit, and now he flies out to center field. So up comes Cade Mueller. Mueller went 1 for 3 with a single to center field. He also grounded out twice in game one. And there's a fly ball out to center field, and Hobley made all 3 outs. So the Cavaliers go down in order, all of them flying out to center field. And after 1, there's no score on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do,
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
And we're back here at Carson Park. And leading off the top of the second for the Jim Falls Sturgeons is Mason Tester, the shortstop. In game one, Tester went 1 for 2. He doubled, had a 2 RBI double, and he also flew out to right field. He drew a couple walks as well. Pitches outside for a ball. Jackson Vance has started working with a sidearm delivery. And there's a foul at the plate. And for some hitters, that sidearm delivery is a little disconcerting. Because if you're in that right-handed batter's box, that looks like that ball is coming from behind you. And the pitch. That just missed the inside edge. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mason Tester. And the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. That's the advantage that you have. Sometimes you can hit that outside corner and it looks like it's going to be way outside. And the pitch. A little bit low.
Yeah, this is the second game I've seen him pitch, and he looks more comfortable this game.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Line shot out into right field fair. It's rolling down toward the corner. Tester rounds first and heads into second. So Mason Tester leads off the second with a double to right field. That's going to bring up Jake Esslinger. Esslinger went 0 for 2. He got on an error. He struck out. And then he promptly got hit by 2 pitches. And a pop-up straight up in the air. Vance moves over, makes the catch. That'll bring up Colton Turner. He did not bat in the first game. He was the starting pitcher. Lasted just over 2 innings. And that pitch just missed. Vance at the belt. And the pitch. Outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Colton Turner. And the pitch. Inside for a ball. Three-0 pitch. That missed for ball 4. So Turner draws a walk. 2 runners on now. Esslinger on second. Turner on first. Or check that. That's Mason Tester on second. Turner on first. Brings up Ben Westaby with 1 out. Westaby did not play in game 1.
Ooh.
And that pitch just missed outside. And the pitch. Strike called on the inside corner. Just barely caught that inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down, 2 on. We're in the top of the second inning of game 2. And the pitch. Swung on a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. That's the second strikeout of the day for Vance. It's going to bring up Jackson Google. Google went 0 for 2, struck out twice. He also walked twice, was caught stealing as well. Pitch is outside. Police must have been busy if they caught him stealing.
Yeah.
Vance looks at second. And the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled away.
Yeah, Jackson has tried to get this one, start loading bases already.
1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. Ground ball over to third. Taking it himself is Cade Mueller. So Google gets a fielder's choice, and Tester is out 5 unassisted. So the Sturgeons go down in the second with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 3 were left on base. We've played an inning and a half and no score at Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
So we go into the bottom of the second inning. 2 up for the Cavaliers, Cole Timon, Sam Knickerbocker, and Cody Dayton. Cole Timon in game 1 went 0 for 3. He ended the game on a 6-4-3 double play. He also drew a walk. He scored a run. Well, he didn't score, but his courtesy runner did, because he was the catcher in game 1. That pitch was high for a ball. A.J. Schemenauer on the mound. There's a fly ball out into center field. Moving over and making the catch is Hobley. He's made all 4 outs. So what's the over and under on Hobley's outs this game? Sam Knickerbocker comes to the plate.
Yeah, big gap between right and center.
Knickerbocker went 2 for 3. Singled, he doubled. That was a 2 RBI double. And he also grounded to third. There's a hard shot. Stopped by the first baseman. Throw over to Schemenauer covering. Turner dove and snagged it in his glove. And then recovered and threw it to Schemenauer. That kind of robbed Knickerbocker of a hit there. That had base hit written all over it. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Cody Dayton. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Dayton had 1 at bat, and he singled in that one. There's a ground ball over to short, scooped up by Tester, and the throw over to Turner at first, and the Cavs go down in order 1, 2, 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 2, and there's no score at Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackamick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Yeah, I think one of the things us veterans are hoping for is soon the cabin will be built.
It's going to be amazing to be able to come to a place like this and stay at a cabin with amazing people, animals, a view, and get away from it all.
Country Haven Farms is fundraising to complete our cabin, giving Wisconsin veterans and their families a much-needed escape in the Northwoods. Donations of any amount are encouraged, and sponsorships are available at all levels. To make a donation or sponsorship, please visit our website or give us a call.
Leading off for the Jim Falls Sturgeons in the top of the third is Carter Stelter. He did not play in game one. He's playing second base in this game. And it's now a 2-0 count to Carter Stelter. So Stelter, then back to Coda and Hobley are due up this inning. There's a strike on the inside edge. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Counts even at 2-2. That's the other thing about those sidewinders, is that they can get batters to chase pitches they normally wouldn't chase. That was very close. Counts full, 3-2. Vance delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's strikeout number 3 for Jackson Vance. Goes back to the top of the order now, Jace Coda. He popped to short. And the pitch. That's outside for a ball. And the pitch. Foul ball straight back up over the top of us. Ball and a strike now to Jace Coda. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That pitch is outside. And strike 3 called on the outside corner.
Yeah, good pitch there.
He froze Coda on that one. Kristen Hobley went down looking his first time up. Nobody on, 2 down. And the pitch. Ground ball over to third. Picked up by Mueller. Throw over to first in time. And the Sturgeons go down 1-2-3. So we've played 2.5, and there's no score at Carson Park in Game 2 on NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 715-586-1302. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Heading into the bottom of the third inning, due up for the Cavaliers, Connor O'Reilly, Trenton Palmer, and Brayton Tillman. O'Reilly is the designated hitter. He did not play in Game 1. Dan, you have Connor's batting average over there?
Connor O'Reilly. Connor O'Reilly, 222.
And the first pitch was a strike. And there's a fly ball foul.
9 at bats.
But 222. No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Chased one.
That's going to bring up Trenton Palmer. Palmer went 0 for 2. He did walk and score a run. And that pitch missed the outside corner. Lisslinger playing way up on the grass on the third base. Now he's dropped back. High hopper over to first. Turner tosses it over to Schemenauer covering, and they got the out. That's going to bring up Brayton Tillman. Tillman walked a couple times in Game 1 and then struck out in his 3 plate appearances. There's a pop-up out into shallow center field, moving back and making the catch is Tester. So the Cavaliers go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and we have played 3, and there is no score at Carson Park between the Jim Falls Sturgeons and the Eau Claire Cavaliers on NLWN-TV.
Royal Credit Union's low rates and flexible terms on auto loans can help keep your payments low. Get a great rate on your next car or truck purchase, or refinance an existing vehicle with an auto loan from Royal Credit Union. Royal also offers loans for buying or refinancing boats, UTVs, and other vehicles. Royal Credit Union wants to help keep your payments low. Check rates and apply for a Royal Credit Union vehicle loan online at rcu.org/autorate. Subject to credit approval.
My name name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Yeah, we come back here to Carson Park for the top of the fourth inning in a second game that's moving right along a whole lot faster than the first game. Due up for the Sturgeons, Bobby Soren, AJ Shemino, or Mason Tester. Bobby Soren was hit by the pitch his first time up in this game. And there's an outside pitch for a ball. And the pitch. It's outside, ball two. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball out into right field, moving over a couple steps and making the catch is Palmer. So one down. It's going to bring up AJ Schemenauer, who grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. Swing and a miss for strike one. High pop up. Timon moves under it and he makes the catch. And that'll bring up Mason Tester. He's got the lone hit of the game. It was a double out to right field in his first appearance.
Yeah, another big gap in right field down the line.
That pitch missed inside. I see a bigger one, though, if I look out there between right and center.
Yeah.
There's a strike called on the outside corner. But with the speed of Bemnister, that gap isn't as big as it looks. Breeze has picked up a little bit, trying to blow in. There's a chop foul on the third base side. Ball and two strikes with two down. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out into right field, moving over his Palmer, and he makes the catch. So the Sturgeons go down 1-2-3 in the fourth inning. With no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on, we've played 3.5. And it's the Sturgeons nothing, Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Wednesday, June 5th, as the Cavaliers take on the Augusta Athletics from Jan Kruger Memorial Field in Augusta. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 6:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on NLWN-TV on Wednesday, June 5th.
We're back here at Carson Park About to head into the bottom of the fourth inning in a game that's moving right along. Dan, what a difference between these two games.
Yeah, the first game, hot bats, and this one's going to be a pitching duel, looks like. We'll see. Like I said, who's going to blink first now?
Well, do it for the Cavaliers, Jerome Delikowski, and then back to the top of the order with Caden Erickson and Xavier Bemnister. And we're just waiting to see Delikowski really be consistently get that bat rolling. He did get that nice double yesterday, but his bat has been pretty quiet. I think there's a lot in there. Schemenauer delivers. And that's inside for a ball.
Yeah, it's all about seeing the ball when it leaves the hand of the pitcher.
And the pitch, it's outside. Delikowski went 0 for 2 in game one. He did get on an error with some nifty footwork. Here's the pitch. That missed. 3-0 is the count to Jerome Delikowski. And that one got past the catcher, and Delikowski goes down to first.
See if they get a pinch runner. Looks like they will.
And we are going to have a pinch runner. Gabe O'Brien.
Josh Garcia.
Or Josh Garcia, I'm sorry. I wouldn't be surprised to see Garcia stay in. Takes it back to the top of the order. Caden Erickson is up. Erickson shows bunt, called strike on the outside corner. Garcia takes his lead. And the runner goes foul back into the net. No balls and 2 strikes to Caden Erickson.
Yeah, good speed at first with Josh Garcia.
Garcia takes his lead. Throw over to first, and he's back in. He goes, and there's a high pop-up, foul territory in play.
Nobody at first.
And nobody's at first, so Garcia got to get back without too much stress. So Westerby got back and made the catch. And one down. Xavier Bemnister comes to the plate. He flew out to center field his last time up. Garcia gets off the bag. There's a high pop-up right behind second. Moving over his tester, and he makes the catch.
Yeah, Bemnister's getting bad on the ball. He's just got to get it in play now.
That brings up Cade Mueller, who also flew out to center field. Garcia off the bag, and the pitch is outside. And the pitch. That one got past the catcher. It was a called strike and got past the catcher. We're going to call that one a pass ball because I figure if it was in the strike zone and the catcher misses it, that's not a wild pitch. But Garcia's at second. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Throw over to second. And they got him. They picked Garcia off a second. So the Cavaliers go down with no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played 4 innings, and there's no score at Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwood poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
So we're getting ready to head into the 6th inning. No, 5th inning.
Feels like this.
These old glasses and eyeballs just... I'm going to have to make another visit to Menominee Eye and Optical. See Doctors Comro and get this checked out, because when you can't read the scoreboard, that's not good. Due up for the Sturgeons, Jake Esslinger, Colton Turner, and Ben Westerby. Esslinger popped out to the pitcher his first time up, right over near the first baseline. Swing and a miss. Here's the pitch. That was outside and back to the backstop. Sammy Knickerbocker couldn't get to that one. A ball and a strike. Here's the pitch. Just missed. Must have been a little bit low because I thought it caught the corner. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Ground ball foul down the third baseline. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. That was inside.
He's saying it went around.
Okay, called him out. So, that's strikeout number 5 for Jackson Vance. Colton Turner steps to the plate. He walked his last time up. The first pitch was a called strike. And that one's fouled away. Count goes to 0-2. Jackson Vance steps off. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like you're in the right rhythm, and you step off and regather yourself. The 0-2 pitch. Missed outside. A ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball over towards second, but it gets through the hole. Out into center field. And Colton Turner has a single. That's just the second hit of the game. And that's going to bring up the catcher, Ben Westaby, who struck out his last time up. 1 down, 1 on. Turner takes a lead. And that pitch was outside. And the pitch. That's a strike on the inside edge. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. And the pitch. Strike 2. Jackson Vance looks in for the sign. Is at the belt. The 1-2 pitch swung on a miss, strike 3.
Yeah, good pitch by Vance there. Jammed him.
That's going to bring up Jackson Google, who got out on a fielder's choice his last time up. Grounded it over to third, and Mueller picked it up and beat the race to the bag to get Mason Tester out. First pitch was a ball. Vance at the belt and delivers. There's a ground ball. Erickson gets it, flips to second, and they got it in time. So once again, Jackson Google gets on a fielder's choice because Colton Turner is put down 6-4 at second base. So for the Sturgeons, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. And we've played 4 innings, 4.5 innings, and there's still no score here at Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
Cade Mueller steps to the plate to start the 5th inning for the Cavaliers. Swing and a miss for a strike. His first time up, Cade Mueller flew out to center field. And that one's in the dirt. A.J. Schemenauer has faced the minimum. There's the pitch. That one's high. And the pitch. Line shot, foul down the third baseline. That had extra bases typed all over the front of it. And Trevor Kolop is applying for a job as my housekeeper, the way he's sweeping that plate.
Yeah, it's getting kind of hard to see.
Here's the wind in the pitch. It's outside and all the way back to the backstop. Out goes full to Cade Mueller. Cole Timon on deck, Sam Knickerbocker to follow. Swing and a miss for strike three. That's going to bring up Cole Timon, who also flew out to center field his last time up. Here's the pitch. That's high. And that one missed low. 2 balls and no strikes to Cole Timon. And a pop foul out of play. Here's the pitch. That's high, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Schemenauer delivers. Fouled back into the screen. The count is full. You're right, Dan. We're in a bit of a pitcher's duel here.
Yeah. Not much hitting going on in this game. Jim Falls has 2, Cavaliers has 0 for hits.
And that pitch is high and away for ball 4. Timon heads down to first base. That's going to bring up the catcher, Sam Knickerbocker.
See if we get a courtesy runner this time.
He's not the catcher, so I don't think he can.
Oh, sure.
Timon takes his lead. And there's a strike on the outside corner to Knickerbocker. And the pitch. That's inside. One ball and one strike. And the pitch. Line shot back up the middle, through into center field. And Timon checks in at second. Knickerbocker has a base hit. That's the first hit for the Cavs. And it broke up Schemenauer's no-hitter bid. He had to be thinking about it at this point. When you get to the 5th inning, Odie Dayton at the plate. Infield playing up. And a pop foul, and it's going to be out of play. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike two. Runners take their leads. 0-2 is the pitch. Fly ball out into right field. Moving over and making the catch is Coda for 2 outs. It's going to bring up Connor O'Reilly, who went down swinging his last time up. And the pitch. Check swing ball. And the 1-0 pitch. Chop foul at the plate. I think it went off the leg of O'Reilly. We do have a courtesy runner going in for Knickerbocker. And that's Yarrington going in. He's kind of the designated courtesy runner for Ryan Bemnister. Yarrington takes his lead at first. Timon takes his lead at second. The 1-1 pitch. It's outside for a ball. They're not holding Yarrington at all, so he's taking a pretty good lead. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. And the pitch. That's outside in the dirt.
Yeah,
The
good.
count is full.
Good job by Westerby to block that one.
Traveling time now for the runners. Timon and Yarrington take off. Pop, foul back out of play. Off the roof of the grandstand. Count holds at 3-2. And the pitch. Pop up in the infield. Coming in is Schemenauer, and he makes the catch. So the Cavaliers get no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. We've now completed 5 with no score here at Carson Park on the Northern Light Webcasting Network's NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service. Any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
And we're in the top of the sixth inning. Leading off for the Jim Falls Sturgeons is Carter Stelter, who struck out his first time up. And that pitch is outside. That pitch was low. 2 balls, no strikes. Jace Cota on deck, Tristan Hobley to follow. And the ball's foul, tipped away. Carter Stelter at the plate, and the pitch is outside. 3 balls and a strike. Vance looks in and delivers. Strike called. Stelter thought he had ball 4. The count is now full. Jackson Vance delivers. And that one was inside. That's only the second walk given up by Jackson Vance. Takes us back to the top of the order, Jace Cota, who popped a short and struck out looking. And a strike called on the outside corner. Cota showed bunt. Decided not to offer.
Yeah, infield doesn't come in.
Here's the pitch. Shows bunt again. Puts it down the first baseline. Vance fires over to first for the 1 out.
Nice bunt. Better play by Vance.
That was a real nice sacrifice bunt by Jace Cota. And it moves Carter Stelter over to second and brings up Tristan Hobley. 0 for 2 in this game. Struck out and grounded to third. That pitch missed low. Jackson at the belt. Checks second and fires, and a strike right down the middle of Water Street that time. Took something off that pitch. A ball and a strike. And the pitch. That was inside. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. And the pitch. That one's high. 3 balls and a strike. Vance delivers. Line shot out into left field for a base hit. Stelter stops at third. And runners are now on the corners with 1 out. Mueller And Knickerbocker having a little chat with Jackson Vance. Due up is Bobby Soren for the Sturgeons. And Soren flew out to right and got hit by the pitch.
Yeah, a little strategy here. We've seen in games past that Knickerbocker will try to pick him off at second, on the corners here. The defensive strategy between second, short, the pitcher and the catcher.
And the pitch. And it's fouled back. Good feeling Stelter might try something there over at third. It almost looked like he was ready to. And the pitch. Ground ball over to third. Mueller can't handle it, but fires over to first. And he made the play at first. Run came in to score. But Cade Mueller stuck with it and did a nice job of keeping his head down, keeping the ball in front of him, and making the throw over to first. Stelter came in to score, putting the Jim Falls Sturgeons on top, 1-0. Fly ball deep into left field, way back, and that's out in the football field.
2-run shot. Yeah, Jackson Vance left one right down the middle, and he jumped on that one.
And that now puts the Sturgeons on top, 3-0. We're going to get some activity down in the Cavalier bullpen. Carlton Steele is going to go down and warm up. There's a strike called. A ball and a strike to Mason Tester. He doubled his first time up, then flew out to right. There's one off the, and the Cavs can't make the play. It went off the glove of Mueller into the glove of Erickson, but he couldn't find the handle, and by the time he did, there was no play to be made. Ryan Bemnister heading out to the mound. They're going to have a chat out there.
Yeah, I suppose see if he can get through this inning. Dalton Steele's just heading on to the bullpen now, so he'll need a little time to warm up.
So that's going to bring up Jake Esslinger. He's 0 for 2 today in this game. Vance pitches, ground ball over to second, throw to first, and they got the third out. Dayton over to Timon, and that's it, but not before the damage was done. 3 runs on 2 hits, but one was a big one, the home run by A.J. Schemenauer into the football field. And 1 left on. So we've completed 5.5, and it's the Jim Falls Sturgeons 3, Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Ready for a better way to bank? Switch to Royal Credit Union. Royal Credit Union is a financial co-op, not a corporation, so we return earnings to our members. That means you get low or no fees for account services and better rates on deposits and loans. You'll also have all the digital tools you need at your fingertips, so managing your account is easy. Royal is ready to help you discover the credit union difference. Switch to Royal Credit Union today at rcu.org/difference. Insured by NCUA.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Wednesday, June 5th, as the Cavaliers take on the Augusta Athletics from Jan Kruger Memorial Field in Augusta. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 6:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on NLWN-TV on Wednesday, June 5th.
So we head into the bottom half of the 6th inning. Cavs all of a sudden have a hole to dig out of. 2 up for the Cavaliers, Trenton Palmer, Brayton Tillman, and I'm not sure if we'll get Delikowski. Yeah, he's got a helmet on down there. Foul back out of play by Palmer. He grounded out to first. Tossed over to Schemenauer covering the bag. And the pitch. That's high and away. Counts even at 1-1. And the pitch is inside. 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball over to short. Scooped up, throw over to first. And he beat it. Trenton Palmer used his speed. That was a nice play over there short by Tester, and he made a good throw to first, but Palmer just beat it. That's going to bring up Brayton Tillman. He popped to short his last time up. And there's a strike on the outside corner. And the pitch. Line shot out into center field, and it carries just far enough for Hobley to come in and make the catch. It's going to bring up Jerome Delikowski, who re-enters the game. And the pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second. And in safely is Trenton Palmer. That first pitch was called a strike. So 0-1 is the count to Delikowski. He walked his last time up. And that one's fouled back into the screen. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. And that one got Delikowski right in the hip. So with 2 runners on now and 1 out, up steps Caden Erickson. Erickson's 0 for 2 in this game. And the pitch. It's outside for a ball. In fact, he's 0 for 5 on the day. And the pitch. That one got Erickson. Right on the wallet.
And we'll get a trip to the mound.
Yes, we do have a pitcher warming up for the Sturgeons. It's Mike Maurer down in the bullpen. And as they have the conference at the mound, Cavaliers have the bases loaded with one out. Xavier Bemnister will be coming to the plate. Evidently, Dalton Steele is warmed up down in the Cavalier bullpen because they're not throwing down there. And so Bemnister steps in. He's 0 for 2 in this game. He did scratch out an infield hit in the first game. And that pitch was low for a ball. And the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner at the letters. Throw over to third and back in safely is Trenton Palmer. Delikowski at second. Caden Erickson at first. Pop foul. It's out of play. A ball and a strike. Ball and 2 strikes, actually. And the pitch. Fly ball out into left field. Moving over and making the catch is Google, and it's going to be a sacrifice fly for Bemnister.
Yeah, that's what they needed. Just a little spark.
So the Cavs now down by 2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Cade Mueller steps to the plate. Delikowski at second, Erickson at first. And the pitch. That was high for a ball. Mueller is 0 for 2 in this game. Flew out to center and struck out. And the pitch. It's outside for a ball. And the pitch. That's outside for a ball. And it's a strike called on the outside corner. And the 3-1 pitch. Soft looper out into right field. And everybody moves forward 1 base. So the bases are loaded. We have Delikowski at third, Erickson at second, Mueller at first, and Cole Timon stepping to the plate. Timon flew out to center field and walked. Well, I've seen him do it before. Could he do it now?
Yeah, just a little blooper would be nice.
Here's the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. Tying run is at second. There's a line shot through the hole, and they got Timon at first. Deep in the hole behind second, the ball was picked up by Tester, who fired it over to first to get Timon, and the Cavaliers go down scoring 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and the bases were left loaded. So we've played 6, and it's the Sturgeons 3, Cavaliers 1 on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think one of the things us veterans are hoping for is soon the cabin will be built.
It's going to be amazing to be able to come to a place like this and stay at a cabin with amazing people, animals, a view, and get away from it all.
Country Haven Farms is fundraising to complete our cabin, giving Wisconsin veterans and their families a much-needed escape in the Northwoods. Donations of any amount are encouraged, and sponsorships are available at all levels. To make a donation or sponsorship, please visit our website or give us a call.
That's my phone. 16 tons. And they're loading 16 tons on the PA system here, and we're getting ready for the 7th inning of Game 2 of today's doubleheader. What was a bright and sunny day has now become a high overcast. It's cooled things down a little bit. And leading off is Colton Turner for the Jim Falls Sturgeons. And a high pop-up, foul territory. And Timon couldn't get around Dick Smith, the umpire.
I thought it looked deeper. But all of a sudden, I don't know.
It landed right between Timon and Dick Smith. And Timon is not very happy that he couldn't get out of the way. Because Dick Smith's supposed to get himself out of the way. And he just stood there. Not been a good day for Dick Smith today. Pitch is outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Colton Turner. And the pitch. And it's a strike called. One ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball over to second. Picked up by Dayton. Throw over to first in time. So that collision with Dick Smith over at first didn't harm anything. That's going to bring up Ben Westerby, who's gone down on strikes twice. And there's a pop-up, and Timon catches that one right at the foul line. That's going to bring up Jackson Google, who's gotten on a fielder's choice twice. First pitch is a ball to Google. And the pitch. Swung on him, fouled back into the screen. Well, Google will not get on a fielder's choice this time because there's nobody on base.
Yeah.
And the pitch. There's a line shot. He got on anyway, out into center field. That's going to bring up Carter Stelter. Stelter has struck out and walked. Here's the pitch. That's inside for a ball. And the pitch. Swung on a miss, throw it on to first, and Google gets back in time. A ball and a strike. 2 down. Pop up out into right field, and Timon goes back and makes the catch. So, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left, and we head to the bottom of the 7th with the Sturgeons leading the Cavaliers 3-1 on NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com. In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear.
And we're
I made an
back here
assistant to help
at
you
we're back here at Carson Park, starting the bottom of the 7th inning, and the first pitch is high to Knickerbocker. He singled his last time up, and a fly ball that's deep to right field. It's off the wall. Knickerbocker rounds first. He's gonna check into second, and he's safe. So Sam Knickerbocker almost sent 1 yard. It bounced off the wall. And we're going to get a courtesy runner out there for Knickerbocker. And that courtesy runner is Cooper Dykes. Cody Dayton stepping up to the plate. Dayton is 0 for 2 in this game. So runner on second. Tying runs at the plate. Here's the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. Connor O'Reilly on deck. Here's the pitch. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cody Dayton. Grounded to short. Flew out to right. There's a fly ball out into left center field. That's going to be far. And Cody Dayton has just tied the game. I didn't think that quite had it, but it got there. And Cody Dayton with the first Cavalier home run of the season.
Yeah, right down the middle. Good. Couldn't ask for a better pitch.
And that ties the game at 3. And we've got a conference at the mound for the Sturgeons. And we've got a pitching change, and we will get that all taken care of right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
The new pitcher for the Jim Falls Sturgeons here in the bottom of the 7th is Mike Maurer. Dan, you have any numbers on Mike Maurer? Has he pitched yet?
Mike Maurer, yeah, he's not even pitched yet.
This is his first time on the bump this season. Cavaliers have tied it up. The numbers for A.J. Schemenauer, 6+ innings, 3 runs. All of them were earned on 5 hits. He struck out 2 and walked 2.
You do it,
and Connor O'Reilly is one of those strikeouts. And that pitch missed low.
Dalton Steele go down to the dugout for the Cavaliers, start warming up.
And the pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner. Maurer's got a little bit of a herky-jerky motion. He doesn't rear back and fire. He kind of comes from the shoulder. And that one's high. 2 balls and a strike.
It's not 52, but this...
2 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. There's a strike. Counts even at 2 and 2. Scoreboard says 1 and 2, but Trevor Koloff just said 2 and 2 from down behind the plate. Now they fixed it. And time was called. And they did not grant time. The ball was in the dirt, so it's a 3-2 count to Connor O'Reilly. Nobody out. We are tied. And the pitch. Long fly ball. That one's deep into left field. It's in the park, and making the catch is Kugel out there in left field. I thought that one had a chance. That's going to bring up Trenton Palmer, who had an infield single to short last time up. Tester had to go deep into the hole, and the throw over to first just couldn't get him because Palmer's got some speed. So 1 out, and that pitch is high. Maurer's pitch. Out. Oh, got the outside corner. I thought it was a little bit outside, but Must have got the front corner. Here's the pitch. Pop foul out of play. A ball and 2 strikes to Trenton Palmer. He grounded to first and then got that infield hit to short. That pitch is high. Counts even at 2-2. And the pitch. Pop up. Foul territory in the infield, moving over, and it falls right between the catcher and the third baseman. Westerby had it, a beat on it, and all of a sudden pulled back. I think he thought that Esslinger was going to come in and take it, and neither one did. A scorecard just went flying by. What's that first? And the throw to first, and it goes out into right field, and staying at first. That's going to be an error on the throw. So that's going to bring up Brayton Tillman. Tillman's 0 for 2 in this game. And the pitch. There's a strike called on the outside corner. And the pitch. He lays down a bunt. It's a pop bunt, and Westerby can't get there. Did a little sand surfing trying. I hate sand surfing. It hurts.
Yeah, let's see if that'll draw the infield in.
Esslinger creeping up a little bit over at third. 1 out. Runner goes. Throw down to second. It's going to go out into center field. And Palmer decided, no, I better just stay where I am, as he's safe at second. He does get credit for the stolen base.
Yeah, he didn't get a very good jump, but it wasn't a very good throw. That's what got him in.
And they give an intentional walk to Tillman. It's an intentional walk to Brayton Tillman. That sets up the force situation. Keeps the double play in order, especially with Jerome Delikowski, because on the back end of the double play, he's a lot of teams have already realized he's a good target. Speed is not his middle name. Pitch is outside. But I have a funny feeling he's got the ability to end this with one swing of the bat.
Right. Yeah, even if he gets in the outfield, move the runners over.
There's a fly ball. That one's deep out in the left center field.
And it's gone.
It's off the wall. No. And we have a walk-off base hit by Jerome Delikowski. And the Cavaliers come away with a win. And how's that for calling a shot there, Dan?
Oh, what a shot by Delikowski.
So he put it off the wall in center field and gets credit for the RBI as Trenton Palmer comes in to score as the Cavaliers win it in walk-off style by a score of 4-3 over the Jim Falls Sturgeons. Winning pitcher in this game would be Jackson Vance, who went the distance And the losing pitcher would be Mike Maurer. And we'll have more information about this game on Talking Baseball. And chat with Ryan Bemnister, who's much more likely to be in a good mood now, on NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV. This copyrighted presentation has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in conjunction with the Eau Claire Cavaliers and is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and the Eau Claire Cavaliers is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
Well, Dan, how about that? The Cavaliers gained the split with the Jim Falls Sturgeons after dropping the first game 7-5. They come back and walk off the second one by a score of 4-3.
Yeah.
And give us your thoughts here.
Yeah, just what we've been talking about. Start of the season, Dalakowski's a big kid, new to the team, just had to settle in, and I think the last 2-3 games he's starting to settle in, and he made it count at the right time, get it out to the wall. So,
and that's not taking anything away from that home run by Cody Dayton. I didn't think that had what it was going to take to get out of the ballpark, and it snuck over the fence. It was close, but it got there, and boy, what a clout that was, because that 2-run shot is what the Cavaliers needed. It tied the game and then set up the whole situation where Dalakowski had a chance to get the walk-off.
Yeah, Jim Falls never laid down this whole day. Both games, they just fought to the end, and but the Cavs found a way to get a win.
And it kind of shows what Ryan Bemnister had said, that you don't take anybody lightly in this league. And so
the players just get better every year and stronger, and you got to be ready every game.
Well, I see Ryan heading down the steps, and he's going to be coming back up here in just a moment. And so we're going to take this time out. And, let me go through this real quick. Winning pitcher was Jackson Vance. And the losing pitcher would have been Mike Maurer, who came on in the 7th inning. Following the home run. And so he gave up the base runner and the loss of the game by the long shot by Dalakowski. In all fairness to Dalakowski, that probably would have been a double had the play needed to continue. But why? He scored the run and let it happen. So the Cavaliers do gain the split, and I think Glenn St. Arnold is probably pretty happy. We'll take this time out as we wait for Ryan Bemnister on NLWN-TV.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas. You know it's true. Mom, we love you always. Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas. You know it's true. Mom, we love you always. Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
And we're back here at Carson Park talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. Well, Cavaliers gained the split over the Jim Falls Sturgeons. It was pretty dramatic fashion there in the bottom of the seventh inning. First of all, Cody Dayton snuck that one out of the ballpark. It just barely got out, but holy cow, that was a big hit. And then Jerome Delikowski got something we've been waiting to see him do quite a while now.
Yeah, I think that was a little payback for yesterday. For Jerome, it looked a little anger in his stick, so it was nice. We know Cody Dayton's capable of doing stuff like that in our lineup. He's put the ball in play a lot, and he's hit the ball really hard. I've known the kid for feels like 20 years, so I know what he can do. I didn't know he can do it in the bottom of the seventh in a 2-run game, but it was a good time to do it. So,
yeah, when you're down by 2 and there's a runner on and you put it under the football field, that's a pretty good move.
Yeah, and it's it's something where we were talking to the boys about their energy level was just way down all day long, and it just the mood was kind of set weird in the first game, and it just kind of carried over into the second game, and we really didn't pick up energy until Sam hit the crap out of that ball to right field to get everything started. And then as soon as he, reached second, I'm like, okay, well, we got a little goal in here. We can get a run in, get some pressure on him, maybe move some guys around.
Yeah, I thought that one that Sam hit had a chance to go into the seats over there.
Well, we had 3 balls in the seventh inning that all hit either the wall or over the wall. So, that was just the guys were ready to put the ball in play like that, and it was perfect with less than 2 outs. So,
nice pitching job by Jackson Vance. Went the distance, and I think that sidearm threw them off their pace a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. He threw overhand or over the top a couple times too, just to throw him off. But no, Jackson and I talked last week about stretching him out into a starter a little bit. And he said, "Yeah, I could probably throw 3, 4, 5 innings for you as a spot starter." Well, he threw 7 today. Felt good. He would have gone out there for the 8th. Dalton Steele was ready to roll. Dalton knew his role in the second game, and Cooper Dyke, same thing. Any trouble, you guys are the next ones in line to come in. But Jack's never really got in trouble. He made one mistake pitch, but I think he only allowed 4 hits. On the day. So.
Yeah, I see 5 here that the scoreboard said.
Okay, 5.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who's counting?
Yeah. I know we got 4 runs. They have 3, so that's a win.
That's the big thing, yes. Yeah. Okay, talk a little bit about game 1. That did not turn out quite so well, although the Sturgeons jumped out on top with a 7-run lead. You guys chipped away, and had a chance late in the game.
Yeah, we just ran out of time. And like I said, the energy level wasn't there. It's a broken record on these kind of things. Jim Falls is a really good team. We knew that going in. We knew the record was better than ours, and we knew that their sticks were really good. We were talking to a couple of coaches and stuff, and they said to me, like, we can hit the ball, but we're just lacking a little bit in depth of pitching. So if you guys can push us a little on pitching depth, we can get something to you. Well, we didn't really push them. The starting pitchers for both games did a really good job, and so did their finishers. So, nothing. It just was a bad game, and you have bad games. Go through little slumps here and there, and it just was one of those games. And I'm just glad we turned it around in the second game because it was just
one of the things. And I hate to ride the umpires but it sure seemed like the strike zone in game 1 was a fluid strike zone. And
I don't know what you're talking about, but I know that they pitched really well, and we didn't hit the ball very well, and
that's what matters.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay, very good. Well, congratulations on gaining the sweep, because that's not always an easy thing to do after you drop one that's as frustrating as game one had to have been. It's hard to rally the troops and get back and get that. So congratulations on gaining the sweep. Coming up Wednesday, we're all heading down to Augusta.
Yep. Another conference game. Let the train keep rolling through all the pressure-filled games. So we'll be ready to play Wednesday. Hopefully we got, that's another thing. We only had, I think there's 15 guys here today, maybe 16 or so. So there's a lot of pieces we had to move around. Sam Knickerbocker played third base in the first game. Cade Mueller had to move over to second. It's just weird situational things that we had to do. We still have Carson Windhausen's coming off of an injury, and he played first in the first game, but he still looked a little gimp. And I'm like, I'm not taking any chances. I know the kid wants to battle, but I'm not taking chances because that's too important of a player to take a chance on and lose this year. So it's just, we have 25 guys here. It might be a different story in the first game, because then, you can see the writing on the wall earlier.
Right.
With Milner and go to somebody else earlier, but again, we got to have guys show up. So.
Well, congratulations again. We'll see you down in Augusta. I hope the fans show up down in Augusta. That's a nice little ballpark down there.
It's a beautiful park. I love Augusta.
Yeah, and
they've done a great job out there. If you haven't seen it, please come out and take a look at it.
That's, in my book, that's the third nicest ballpark in the league. Yeah, and so, come down to Augusta. They have really good dogs down there, too, so I'm looking forward to that. Because we are giving out a trophy this year for the top dog, and so Augusta is probably going to be in the running if they're the same as they were last year. So, all right, we will see you on Wednesday, and we'll be back with more Talking Baseball right after this timeout.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Some final thoughts before we get out of here. Cavaliers win game 2 of the doubleheader after dropping game 1. Game 1, they fell behind early and ended up falling 7-5 after kind of chipping their way back into it. Just didn't quite have enough time to do it. And then in game 2, they fell behind by 3 and again chipped their way back 3 late in the game. And then in the bottom of the 7th inning, holy cow, Cody Dayton hit a 2-run home run, and that was after a run had scored. And Trenton Palmer scored on, actually in the bottom of the 6th. Palmer scored on Xavier Bemnister's sacrifice fly, so that made it 3-1. And then in the 7th, the Sam Knickerbocker doubled off the wall in right. Cody Dayton hit the 2-run home run to left, and then Trenton Palmer got on an error, and Jerome Delakowski hit one off the wall in center field, which scored Trenton Palmer, and the Cavaliers came away with a 4-3 win. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah, good pitch by the Cavs. But this team just never dies. They just hang around, and all of a sudden somebody gets on fire and sparks the team, and you just can never count them out.
So, the winning pitcher in Game 2 was Jackson Vance, losing pitcher Mike Maurer. Winning pitcher in Game 1 is Will Jacobson, and the losing pitcher was Andrew Milner. Coming up on Wednesday, make sure you join us on Wednesday, August 5th, and on NLWN-TV, as we are going to bring you the Cavaliers traveling to Jan Kruger Field in Augusta to face the Augusta Athletics in a CRBL matchup. And just like Ryan Bemnister said, really nice ballpark. He said if you haven't been there, you owe it to yourself to go down there and see a game there. Coverage begins here on NLWN-TV at 6:30 p.m. within the dugout, followed by live play-by-play action. First pitch is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Also join us next Saturday as we bring you Chippewa Valley Phoenix football. The Phoenix will play a yet-to-be-determined opponent. It may actually be determined by this time. They just haven't informed us yet. Check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for information about start times. Coming up later this year, the Northern Light Webcasting Network will broadcast our 500th event. Be sure to stay tuned for special announcements and special awards for our loyal viewers. That's all coming up later this broadcast season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. And the Eau Claire Cavaliers do want to remind veterans of the United States military that they can get a lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games simply by coming to Carson Park with your veterans identification. And the Cavaliers will be happy to issue you your lifetime pass. It's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service. Today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game has been brought to you by Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. Your Napa Auto Parts store at 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. Royal Credit Union, where they're different in a good way, and C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV. For Ann Monroe on the computer, Cassie Nelson on the camera, Dan Petchow with all of his wisdom and comments. This is Rick Olson. That final score of Game 2, well, Game 1, it was the Jim Falls Sturgeons 7, Cavaliers 5. Game 2, Cavaliers in walk-off fashion on top by a score of 4-3. You've been tuned to Talkin' Baseball on NLWN-TV.
You have been tuned to Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.